And hello and welcome. My name is Martin. I'm the instructor for Game 1306, Design and Creation of Games. For those that were not able to catch the first part of the meeting, for whatever reason, the meeting didn't record itself, so I don't have that to be able to show you, but I'm going to do a little recap of what you're expected to look at and how you're going to be able to use the Canvas environment. So the first thing that I want you to do coming to the website would be go to the syllabus, read the syllabus. If you click on the syllabus and go down, you will actually see a list of our schedule. You can download the syllabus if you want to. The most important part, I believe, would be to know essentially how the grading works, and then there's the schedule. So starting at about, I don't know what page that is, page 8, you have the schedule. And it's going to be a fast-paced schedule. It's going to be broken down into two halves. The first half is going to be the individual projects. There's going to be all these labs. Each one of those will be worth about 100 points. Then you have the two projects that you're going to have, which are going to be worth 1,000 points apiece. 3/4 of that grade will actually be coming from what you do as in your level, and the other quarter of that will be what you provide for the group, or what your responsibility inside the group is. So 25% is your group grade, and the other 75% would be from your individual level. Then down here at the bottom, you'll notice that this is also color coded. So the first half, or the first month, I have to teach you how to make games. The second half of the month, you will be making and creating your own video game. From there, you can see the projects. Now, I will be posting the projects later, so don't worry about those yet. Every time you see something in red, that means that's something due. We'll talk about these different meanings here later as the projects come up, but just know that your schedule is there inside your syllabus, so it would be very important to read that. From there, the next thing that I would like you to do would be, or if we're looking down at the modules that we have, and let me put this in student view so you're seeing it the way that, or I'm showing it to you the way that you would be able to see it. So you have the syllabus. The next thing is going to be the different links. Each one of these is a link that sends you to a different piece of software that we're going to use. Just to give you a quick breakdown, this class will be in the Unreal Engine 4.25. That is the newest one, although you might want to download 4.242 because a lot of the packs that are available that we would be downloading would be working for 4.24. So that might not be a bad idea. From there, there's Blender. There is one project where we will be using a little bit of Blender. Don't worry, I have videos showing you exactly how to use Blender. So it's this class is more about making a game and working in the environment that you will be making the game in, as opposed to being too much art or too much coding. So we're somewhere in the middle. This is more of a showing you and having the sensation and the feeling of being in an actual group of people, or like if you were working for a company designing a video game. From there, because of the online nature of this class, it's very difficult to turn in large file format projects, which these become several gigs in size. So what we will be doing is doing a video screen or a video walkthrough. For most of us who have played video games, I'm sure that you've come to a difficult part in your game somewhere and you've had to turn to the internet to find somebody that has actually beaten that level and gives you the things that you need, or the information that you need to be able to beat that level. This is sort of the same thing. You will be going through your level that you create for all of the individual projects and for the group projects, and showing me all the different. I have a checklist I've designed for each one of the projects, and that will then, you will go down the checklist and show me that each one of those things are there. You will be using Jing. Jing is a screen capture software. It's also free. The other thing I'll note is that if you don't see anything next to these things, that means they're free. Anytime you see a $sign, that is something that needs to be paid for. But every time I have a paid for, just underneath I have the free alternative. So if you don't already have, let's say, something like Photoshop, there is GIMP, which gives you a free photo editor. And then there's another one down here. If you are in Microsoft and you can't afford Microsoft or don't have it, there is a free version of the Microsoft suite called OpenOffice. They are different companies, obviously very different, but they are free alternatives. Every other software that we're going to be using here is free, and for the packs that we'll be downloading from Unreal, I will try my best to show you examples that only use free stuff in them. or free packs that we've downloaded. So Jing is your online, or it gives you the ability to be able to screen capture your screen and also record your voice. It is important to have some type of a USB microphone or some way to be able to actually get your voice into class. It will help you with your walkthroughs. It will also help you participate in class better. There is a typing component that is available inside the Webinex, which is actually down here, which we'll cover in just a minute. But it is it's so much easier just to unmute your microphone and ask the question that you have. So screen capture, that will be how you turn in projects. There is a whole module which we'll explain in just a second about how to actually turn in your projects. From there, Screencast is a website, or it is actually part of the Jing package. They're both made by a company called TechSmith. And Screencast, what it allows you to do is take the videos that Jing makes, upload them to the internet, and then create a hyperlink or a link, a URL back that you can actually post into your assignments. So those two will be crucial in turning in your projects. Now, if you have an alternative method, like I'm actually using Camtasia right now to screen capture this, so if you do have another program that does screen capturing, that's fine. If you have, let's say, an account with YouTube or another account that will allow you to video host or host your videos, and you can create a URL and send that back to me, you can also use that. You don't have to necessarily use these two. They're just free, so I leave them up there as alternatives. Now with Photoshop, there will be some need for Photoshop, not necessarily to actually work inside of our projects, although alternatively those who can make a material or want to do something like that can, or bring in textures because you may already know how to do that, you can. But these are more or less going to be used for our paperwork. Part of this class is going to be introspective into the world of business and the kind of how a video game gets put together behind the scenes at the company, different roles in the company, how the company kind of, if you have a game, how do you bring it to market? How do you get investors to get interested into it? So we will be doing, Project 1 will be a verbal and written pitch, and Project 2 you will actually make the video game that you pitched in Project 1. So for that you will need somebody in your group that either has access to Photoshop or GIMP or knows how to do some type of graphical editing to make those documents look nicer, to add imagery to those documents, because it really does it makes it pop when you have images. Alternatively, we will also be making promotional material, so like posters, maybe like a mock-looking website, or what the front page of a website might look like, to be able to go ahead and promote, or what a poster that might be in a kiosk at a place like GameStop or something like that. So you will use Photoshop for those. Discord is a communications platform. For those who are not familiar with it, you can type, send small file format things to each other like images or memes. You are also able to use it more recently as a communications platform to be able to hold meetings, so you can verbally talk to people on the other side. I believe there is also screen capturing. It may also accept webcams. Discord, however, is kind of slow for purposes like that. There are better alternatives, but this is a free alternative that actually most people are probably familiar with at this point, so I've left it up there. We will be covering other types of communications in Project 1, but if you don't have a Discord account, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and have one. The other thing, obviously, is there will be paperwork that we are going to be making with this. So we have Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office obviously does ask for money on a monthly basis, so I put that. Now, Open Office Suite is a separate company that basically is the same thing as Microsoft, slightly different, but offers the same things. And what we would essentially be looking for would be the word processor. We need to be able to write those reports, to write the paperwork that is associated with both Project 1 and Project 2. So those are the links that I have for you right now. That would be the second module. The third module would be how to actually turn in projects. I leave, again, both the Jing and the Screencast, and I actually need to change this because I believe this is now called Capture as opposed to it being called Jing. So they've done an upgrade and changed the name of the program a little bit. So I guess I'll have to go back and make those changes, but essentially the link takes you to the same place. So it's what you need to do, or how you would get there. From there, I have an additional link to a video that opens up in YouTube, and you can actually watch it directly from the website or from Canvas without leaving. And what that does is gives you a step-by-step instructions on how to download Jing, how to use Jing, how to, and I would assume the new program is the same. They've changed the name. I'm going to download it here soon and see what the differences are. And if they're significant, I guess I'll have to make another video or an updated video to this. But essentially how you would turn in your project is going to be the same. So we'll go back. Okay. And then the other one would be this one down here, which is a document explaining step-by-step written how to turn in your assignments. Also, this is where I've put the information about every 7 days that a project is not due, you lose 10 points. Right? So if you miss the due date by 1 minute, it's 10 points off. You have 7 days to finish that work. If you don't finish it by the next 7 days, it goes from a 90 to an 80. If you spend 3 weeks waiting on it, then it goes from an 80 to a 70. I want to give points where things are due, but you have to learn that this industry works on deadlines. If you don't have certain things, you could lose funding, you could lose confidence in people, and this is an accelerated course. This is normally a course that's taught over 16 weeks, and we're condensing it to 8 weeks. So if you miss 7 days, I mean, you've missed an eighth of the class. So I have to put some type of penalty there. So explaining that, you do have step-by-step instructions here of how you would copy and share the link. And again, all this is available as a video. I've also written it down here for you as far as step-by-step. From there, if we go back to home, we'll look at the next module down. The next module down will be the lectures. Right now there is one lecture up there, the What is Game. We covered this in the class. I'm not going to do it here. It's self-explanatory. If you read, if you just look at the watch or go through, it's a PDF, so you can just kind of go through the slides and read them, and then there is a quiz that's associated with this. So let me show you where that is. That would actually be here underneath assignments, and currently you actually have assignment 1, which is lab 1, which is the first independent project, and lab 2, which is the second independent project, and basically this is where you would turn them in. Here is quiz 1. So you would take the quiz, and I believe there's only one question in this, and it's I've given you 2 attempts. You have until I guess this would be the deadline. This would be Wednesday to finish that from the time. Well, anyway, the deadline's right there. You can see it. I usually give it till midnight. You have 2 attempts. I don't give you the answers at the end of the first attempt, so then that way you can go back and just kind of plug things in. I want you to think. The whole purpose of these lectures are to get you used to terms or ideas, philosophies that we might be using inside games. So it's important to actually read this information, so then that way when I say something, you're not guessing as to what I mean by it. You know exactly what I mean because I've explained certain definitions to you. So do make sure that you go over the lectures, read the lecture first, and then take the quiz. From there, the other thing we could look at would be where the other 2 assignments are, since we kind of talked about that already. Just to show you, we will go here to lab 1. If I click in lab 1, you can see that I have written again the information that you need to be able to, what I'm looking for in your walkthroughs. So each one of these, if you watch, let's say, and I guess I sort of have to show you this first. So let me go back to home. And down here are actually video links that actually take you to my YouTube account, and you can watch step by step how to download the software, how to get into the software, how to start moving around in the software. Lesson 1, and essentially what I'm doing for both lesson 1 and lesson 2 is I'm showing you how to create the environment. So we're doing like interior structures, building doorways, windows, decorating the outside of a building, the inside of a building. I'm showing you how to download packs. So you're really learning how to use the software, even though we haven't, as far as placing things. And a lot of this is really like level design. So, what needs to be there? Why does this room look so empty? So sorts of things. We also work a little bit with water. We build staircases. So there's a lot of really good stuff. I would think that the videos are probably, it's probably about 3 hours worth of videos here. So, you know, you need to start watching them. We don't have enough in the 6 hours of class to be able to cover everything. I try to do it very fast, but, you know, it's better for these videos to already be there, and then that way you can watch the videos and you know, slow them down or pause them and then do the exercise and while you're watching the videos. That would be one way to do it. I do provide a checklist down here at the bottom, so that checklist that you saw earlier that was in the assignments is also here, so you know what you need to, once you finish watching the videos, what you need to have in your video walkthrough. Or you can watch this first and then go, you know, read this first and then go back and watch the videos, so then that way as certain things come up, you know, oh, okay, I need to do, you know, trees, grass, and bushes, and he showed me how to do that. From there, since you know that these are now videos, there are some videos that there's really not anything that you can show me. There was no exercise that was done, like, you know, downloading and installing the software. Well, great, you know, you're going to show me in, you know, when you show me this video that obviously you got that done. So sometimes there'll be, you know, something like this where it says nothing to show, which is perfectly okay. That just means you have to watch that video so that you can understand what you're doing in the following videos. Don't try to skip anything. The videos are there and they're important and they're set up in a certain order for you to be able to grasp and understand the concepts of what we're trying to do with this software. So again, there's another one down there with nothing to show in that video. That was probably the one about transferring information from one project to another project, which again would be, you can't show me anything, but you know, it's still a useful skill. So watch those videos. So there's your video walkthrough. So again, with assignments, we would be here in assignments. We would go to lab 1. You see how many points it's due, or how many points you're going to get for it. How this is going to be submitted, which is through a website URL, which is the link from the TechSmith page or from the screen capture page. When the project is actually due, and how to submit it. You would click here on submit. You would copy you would paste your URL there, and then you can write any comments that you want here. And apparently, if you have a Dropbox, if there are files associated with whatever it is that you're setting up, you can also send that. This will be more useful when we do projects 1 and project 2, when there is paperwork or, you know, a link, you know, a version of the poster that you've created, or, you know, something like that might be dropped in your Dropbox. So from there, any comments here, you would, once you've got the URL, you would hit submit assignment, and then I would have the URL, and then I can go back and do the grading for that. The other thing that I also want you to know is that I do make announcements here. So if you missed if you were here for the first meeting, you would have read this, you would have known what time the meeting was, and a little bit of information about what I wanted you to know prior to going into the class. So go ahead and read that if you haven't yet. We've already seen assignments. Okay, so this, I think we've already talked about accessing the quizzes. The quizzes are here. Okay, and the only other thing then at that point would be the meetings themselves are going to be on Webinex. Webinex is down here at the bottom. It's Cisco Webinex, so you would click on there. That will then open up the Webinex, I guess, portal or module. You will see any past meetings that we've had. I try my best to record. Sometimes, for whatever reason, either I forget or I shut down prior to stopping the. I don't know what the little thing is. I'm going to try to pay more attention to that. But you know, usually I do a pretty good job of recording the class and having it available. Apparently I missed the first one. That's why I'm actually making this video now, to kind of catch up everybody who missed the first one with the important things that they need to know about taking this class. All upcoming meetings are going to be here, so you'll see that the next meeting is going to be class 2. We're going to be covering a couple of lectures for quiz 2 and quiz 3, and then we need to finish lab 2 because we didn't get to it on the first day, and then I need to introduce lab 3, all about environments. So this is where you're going to come to click the join. The first time you do this, it is going to ask you to download the Cisco Webinex, like a little app, and you'll need to do that. Once that's on your computer, I guess you can refresh the screen, and then it'll allow you to be able to join the meeting. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go back to home. Try not to make this thing too long. There is some people have a concern about computer requirements for the class. So if you do have any concerns about your computer inside the syllabus, I think it's on it's either page 9 or 10. It's a little bit further down. In the syllabus, there is a minimum requirements, what would be good for a computer to have. I cover the gigahertz, the RAM, how much space, hard drive space you need to be able to store the information that we're going to be working on. So all that's there. What the FYI is, or the for your information supplement, is how to reduce and organize information inside your project to do the best for the resources that the computer has. I've had students that have had very low yielding computers, and they were able to knock down, I mean, it was very grainy. It didn't look great, but their computer didn't crash. So, they were able to complete their assignments and finish the course, even with the school being shut down last semester. So, go over those. They are video links. It takes you to my YouTube page, and it will explain how to actually reduce, reduce the amount of resources that Unreal needs to use to be able to complete what you're asking it to do. So you'll drop quality, but your computer won't crash. From there, as far as the projects, follow the projects in order. Don't try to skip around. It doesn't make sense when you try to skip around. Things are done in a certain order. One leads to the next one, leads to the next one, leads to the next one. If you come down here, there's going to be something there that doesn't make sense. So do make sure that you do these in order. We've already talked about the walkthrough or the checklist. And also what I've provided is links to my own walkthroughs. So if I was to click on one of these and go to my own video, you can see that this takes me to the TechSmith screencast page. Go ahead and allow and refresh. And now you will see my video walkthrough for this level. I do start it off with the checklist, and then I go into the video itself and show all the different features that I'm looking for specifically here. All right, let's go back. Okay, and essentially what's going to happen is more of these, all the individual projects will be up there hopefully before the end, well, definitely before the end of the semester, because I've already got them ready. And that's essentially how we're going to be doing things until we get to Project 1. So for the people that missed Class 1, read the syllabus, download all the software that you need, learn how to turn in projects, read the first lecture, do the first quiz. There's the quiz folder. There's quizzes. So read the lecture, do the quiz. If you are concerned about your computer having low power or low RAM, the requirements for the computer are here in the syllabus. Then adjust your computer per project, because that's really cool. Unreal will actually do this per project, and adjust the settings to match what your computer's limitations are. From there, start watching the videos, individual project 1, then finish that one, go into individual project 2. And once you've done those two, use the assignments to turn in the URL. So you will have to do a screen capture of those assignments, show me all the things that I'm looking for on the checklist, and then turn the URL into the lab, and those need to be done. So the first quiz dates and the due dates are here, and how much each one of the points are worth. Okay. All right. So I hope you found this video. Also, before I go, use your inbox. This is going to be where you're going to be able to reach me directly. So I usually check Canvas at least once a day just to see if somebody has written anything, and I try to, give you good responses or try to answer your questions there. So if you do have issues, send me a link on, or send me an email through Canvas, and I will try to get back to you at least within 24 hours. So hope you guys have a wonderful day, and you found the video informative. Have a great day. Bye-bye.